Yo, what up, Down Mafia? And in this episode, we're about to be highlighting 4 things that the Buffalo Bills need to do to beat the Cleveland Browns. And it's starting right now. What up, Down Mafia? Welcome to another edition of the Down Mafia Report. And you know what the most exciting part about us playing the Cleveland Browns this coming Sunday is? The Baker Mayfield memes. I mean, really, the internet did this man dirty. Let's take a look. Baker Mayfield looks like he took 4th place in a Gardner Minshew costume contest. Baker Mayfield looks like he's not allowed within 500 feet of a school zone. Baker Mayfield looks like he just said, "I have nothing left, Karen. Let me see the kids." Now, these were funny. Now, these are very funny. In fact, they inspired me to make this. What do you think? And all jokes aside, the 6-2 Buffalo Bills are traveling to Cleveland to face the 2-6 Cleveland Browns. Now, we all know that this organization has been a dumpster fire so far during the 2019 season, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a little bit nervous about this matchup. It's mostly because we have been in this situation before where we have went up against a very desperate team and got spanked. But there are a lot of holes within this team, and that's exactly why that I have full confidence that the Buffalo Bills are about to go 7-2 once Sunday has concluded. These are 4 things that we must do. The one thing that the Buffalo Bills offense has done consistently all 2019 was run the ball. Between Gore, Singletary, and Yeldon, when he does see the field, they are all averaging a 4.6 yard per carry, which is in the upper echelon of the NFL. Last week, it is safe to say that Devin Singletary has established himself as the lead back within the Buffalo Bills, and he is going to be leading the initiative against the Cleveland Browns during this away game. And I, for one, am ecstatic about this, because we all know how well he did against the Redskins this past Sunday. 20 carries, 95 yards, a touchdown, and a whopping 6.7 yards per carry. And once you account for Gore, who has had a pretty consistent season minus this past Sunday, I think that we're looking pretty good, especially when you put them up against the Cleveland Browns run defense. Yes, believe it or not, the Cleveland Browns run defense is worse than ours. Last week against Denver, they gave up 10.2 yards per carry against Phillip Lindsay, who in my opinion doesn't hold a candle to Devin Singletary, but clearly I'm biased. As far as the regular season is concerned, the Browns are allowing 141.3 yards a game to running backs, with an average of 5 yards per carry. If Buffalo goes into this game on Sunday with a similar game plan in which we had against the Redskins, then it is going to be a long day for the Cleveland Browns. Because once we establish that run game, that's going to open up play action, and that's going to open up our entire playbook, and maybe we'll be able to see Buffalo play a complete game of offense. We all know that the Buffalo Bills are great at running the football. Surprisingly, the Cleveland Browns are just as good, if not better. Yes, it's a surprise that they're good at anything this year. And the Cleveland Browns attack will be led by Nick Chubb, who has 803 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns, and averages 5.2 yards per carry, and he has done damage against very good defenses as well. Now, if you thought that was scary, then Kareem Hunt will also be back. He just finished serving his suspension for kicking hookers. And Freddie Kitchens has been quoted that Kareem Hunt will be a part of the Cleveland Browns game plan this coming Sunday. And we all know how effective that Kareem Hunt can be. In my opinion, he was the best running back in the league when he was with Kansas City before he had that incident. Now, if Freddie Kitchens is as desperate as I think he is for a W on Sunday, the man is sitting in the film room right now, and he is watching the Philadelphia game over and over and over again. All he wants to do is take a page out of Doug Peterson's book and find out and learn how effective Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders were against our run defense. Now, I have a strong feeling that he is putting together a very similar game plan inspired by that abysmal game. The key to stop the run game is to stop it immediately. Not wait until the second half. We need to stop it. Because the second that the Browns establish the run game, That is going to open up play action, and it is going to open up their playbook. And surprisingly, Baker Mayfield has his best stats of the year under play action. In order to stop the run, we need to shut that shit down as soon as possible. And I, for one, have faith in Sean McDermott and Leslie Frazier for putting together a game plan, because let's just say that a random YouTuber fan knows what's coming. I can guarantee you that they know what's coming. Let's just hope that we have made adjustments from the past 3 weeks, shut the run down, and let our secondary do the rest. Mr. Mayfield. He is just a mere skeleton of what he was last year during the 2018 season. And now between his facial hairstyles, his refusal to throw the ball to one of the best receivers in the league, or his god-awful offensive line, he is just not the same person that he was. He has less than 250 yards per game, 7 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, tied for the worst in the league. But what he is a clear winner in, for the worst in the league, is passer rating, which is only sitting at 71.3. But I'm not necessarily underestimating, specifically when it comes to his relationship with Odell Beckham Jr. Now, we can all agree that he's been underutilized so far this season, but the bell has been rung. Last week, we saw Beckham Jr. call it out and say, "I'm not being targeted." And I guarantee you that Freddie Kitchens and Baker Mayfield, they are going to be putting it at a high priority to get the ball to one of their best players, which why wouldn't you? So I think that Cleveland is going to pull an entire 180 and make sure that they're giving the ball to Odell. And at that point, we just need to hope that Trey White can continue to do what he's been doing all season. And in order to stop Baker, we need to take full advantage of his terrible offensive line. Would love to see a couple of sacks from Jordan Phillips and the rest of the defense. As long as we stop Cleveland's rush attack, then Baker Mayfield won't be able to establish play action, and then Baker is going to look like he has all season. We need to put as much pressure as we can on Baker as possible. And now, I never thought that I would say this, ever. But in order for the Buffalo Bills to win on Sunday, not the defense, but the offense needs to win this game for us. Sure, our secondary is absolutely legit, but Cleveland's rush attack is just making me so nervous. So our offense needs to step up and put enough points on the board to win. So far, the Browns this year have allowed 1,130 yards to opponents. Now, while that stat sounds very favorable right to the Buffalo Bills, we're not necessarily known for scoring points. But luckily for us, the Cleveland Browns really aren't known for scoring points either. The Bills need to make sure that we put points on the board. The most points that we have put up all season is required for us to really run away with this game and win. And, ladies and gentlemen, hear me out. I do think that we have found the secret sauce, especially when it comes down to this past Sunday against the Redskins. Get into the red zone on the backs of our running backs. Devin Singletary, Frank Gore, control the clock, and just let our running backs carry us all the way to the red zone. Why is that so important? One of the few stats that Buffalo's offense leads the league in is scoring percentage in the red zone. I believe it's about 71 to 72%. Back in the beginning of the season, we were having issues getting to the red zone. That was the issue with our offense right then and there. But now, as soon as when we are there, we have a very, very good option of putting points on the board. And I think that we did figure out that sauce by just dumping it off to Singletary, sort of getting those chunk plays from John Brown and those last-minute 3 downs by Cole Beasley. Then we should have no problem marching down the field. Next, most importantly, is a matchup that also is making me sweating between Deion Dawkins and Myles Garrett, who is known for getting to quarterbacks. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we establish play action as soon as possible and make sure that the Browns lay off the pressure on Josh Allen and figure out a way to beat us another way. Because frankly, I'm not too excited about that matchup between Deion and Myles Garrett. And above all else, Josh Allen just needs to hold on to the football, no stupid turnovers, and just lead his team. As long as the Bills put up the same amount of points that we did against the Washington Redskins last Sunday, we will win this game, which is 24. Don't get me wrong, we'd love to see a lot more, but I personally think that we only need to put up 24 points in order for us to win this game. So guys, thank you for tuning in to yet another edition of the Dumb Mafia Report. I am super excited about this game on Sunday. I really think that this is a telling game for us. So far, we've been able to prove that we are beating the teams that we are supposed to beat. While Vegas has us as underdogs, which is still completely blowing my mind, I think that we are supposed to win this game, especially when it comes to comparing the different records. And so with our away record and their home record, I think it's really leaning toward us. But I mean, we really need to make sure that we show up as a complete football team. Luckily, we have very little injuries. I think we have a very healthy team going into Cleveland, and we need to keep it that way. But I really think that we're about to be 7-2, guys. I really do. Say that you're new here. My name is Dan Mitchell, and I love putting out Buffalo Bills and NFL videos on a regular basis. Smash that subscribe button, like this video, and say that you want to support the channel as well. Then feel free to go to my Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/Dan Mitchell, and then that's how you'll be able to support this channel and ensure that I continuously give you content throughout the foreseeable future. Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in, and above all else, let's go Buffalo.